Okay, so we're learning Parashat Ki Sisa. Parashat Ki Sisa. We're going to start out with, I guess, with the tzaddok. So the tzaddok explains in the parasha that, really, the fact, first of all, you have to understand, and these 2 points I'm going to say from the tzaddok are really related in this way. Everything in the world isn't tzimtzum. There's a constriction in everything. Everything's constriction. And we have to try to bring light into this constriction. You have limitations, like say in a lot, right? The goof is still the goof, and you have, it's all very nice, but like you have this goof, and the goof is a problem, and you gotta deal with. You have your constrictions. You can't just ignore them. That's the way it is, and you have to learn that. You're a physical person, you're a physical self. You have angel that's very beautiful. You have another half that's not exactly angelic. And you have to work and kind of blend them in a way that's positive and good, and that you're bringing more, and not the opposite. Shouldn't be with darkness. So everything's about constriction. Everything is constriction. Everything is constriction. The first thing Tzaddik says, he explains that the Erev Rav made a mistake because in the Egel they figured that Hashem wanted that there should be a possibility for avodah zarah. There should be a possibility for idolatry, right? Hashem wanted this a complete tzimtzum, not only in actions that we can do or we can't do, but even in our our ability to grasp that if you can't grasp Hashem himself, so you grasp, Hashem, but starts grasping other heavenly things that he created, marzolos, from constellations or different things, different astrological signs, different things, whatever these things are. So that's what they thought. They were wrong. Hashem wants a tzimtzum, but not that much tzimtzum. Hashem wants tzimtzum, but you have got the Torah. This is for rejection. We need to reject the negative things. We need to learn how to reject them. So, fine. So Tzaddik explains that Moshe Rabbeinu Hashem said, "I'm going to bring all my goodness over you, right? And you'll understand." He says that everything is for the best. He said, "You can only see the back." As I state. Hashem says, "You can only see my back. You're not going to see my front. The front you're going to see. For the face, you're not going to see my face." So it's the beginning of seeing Hashem's face. The Tzaddik explains. He says, "This is a shot of knowing that everything's for the best." He said, "While you're in it, you're not going to know. Very often when things are difficult, you're not going to understand why. Afterwards, sometimes it's possible. You're going to see the back. Afterwards, you're going to understand 20/20 hindsight. It was for the best." He said, for example, you can see Mitzrayim. We left Egypt. He said, leaving Egypt. What did leaving Egypt entail? What did it mean to leave Egypt? Leaving Egypt meant that we took all the holy sparks out because of what we endured in Egypt. That created Jewish people, able Jewish people, tempered Jewish people. And we were able to elevate and lift the sparks and get the Torah. When you see that happen, you say, it's imperative. Very often a person, after they have a difficult, they're more sensitive, they're more open to growth, to change. And they see, really it was for the best. It was very hard, it was bitter hard, it was so hard, it was so hard, it was so hard. But, it passed, and then, you will learn because you're open to growth. So that's the first thing to be aware of. That's number one. And, there was a certain very wealthy person, chassid of, I think it was the Vorka. A very wealthy man. His space was always behind the Rebbe's seat. And at a certain point he lost his money. So he kept his space, but he saw people weren't relating to him in a nice way. Now he's not, he's not so successful, he doesn't have money, he's scraping like everybody else, so the Rebbe didn't relate to him nicely. So the Rebbe said, he said this same pasuk. He said, we don't see Hashem, you don't see my face. You're not going to see here. This world we very often don't understand. We don't understand what's behind it. Why is it tzaddik v'tov, tzaddik v'ralo, right? Rosh v'tovlo. What's the tachlis? The person that's such suffering. He said, in the next world we'll understand. Afterwards you'll understand. You'll see that really it's all for the best. It's all exactly right. But it's not always so easy to see. We don't see it in here. This chassid heard it. He got a tremendous chizuk. You're like, I'm chazik. I don't want to fall away. I don't want to let go. I want to understand. I want to know that everything with the moon is from Hashem. And we don't understand very often the pratik, the specifics. And generally speaking, again, it's because we're in this symptom, in this constriction, and this constriction means, again, Abraham made a mistake, and maybe this is part of what the Jewish people's mistake was, with what he's saying, that they maybe they're right. You need to have to over the forget that was the Drei that he says that really they were pushing these people in. The people were set up. was set up to mess up the Jewish people. That's what they were about. And we need to understand that. This is, of course, what Haman was the continuity of this. He wanted very much that the Chet HaEgel should again fall, it should again fail. And we need to understand that there's a tzimtzum, but things are the way they're supposed to be. We're not supposed to make it even more darkness. We have enough darkness. We try to find light and try to connect to Hashem wherever we can, be real, be sincere. And Hashem shall be zochah to have the aura of Amunah to understand that everything happens from Hashem. Everything that's supposed to happen. And hold strong, be strong, and connect to Hashem, perhaps.